Let us learn now type 1 conditional and its sentence constructions and its function or uses. Type 1 conditional. Let us learn the form and the sentence structure and the functions of type 1 conditional. In a type 1 conditional sentence, the tense in the if clause is in the simple present and the tense in the main clause is in the simple future. Type 1 conditional refers to a possible condition and its probable result. Conditional type 1 talks about real situations and facts that are really likely to happen. These sentences are based on facts and they are used to make statements about the real world and about the particular situations. We often use such sentences to give warnings. In type 1 conditional sentences, the time is the present or future and the situation is real. Let us learn the structure of type 1 conditional. It has two clauses, if clause and the main clause. The if clause can have all the present tenses in English grammar like present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Main clause. The main clause have the future simple tense or have the modal verbs like can, may, might, must, should and could, etc. Let's learn some formulas of type 1 conditional. Simple present plus simple future tense. Simple present plus modal verbs. Simple present plus be going to. Simple present plus imperative sentences. It also used with present continuous tense plus simple future. Present perfect plus modal verbs. Present perfect plus simple future. It also used with some adjectives, if plus some adjectives. Simple present plus some imperatives. Let us learn some examples by using simple present plus simple future formula. Question 1. I see him, I shall give him his gift. If I see him, I shall give him his gift. Question 2. Hurry up, you can catch the last bus. If you hurry up, you can catch the last bus. Question 3. Do it now, or I won't let you play. If you do it now, I will let you play. We also can express this in another way. If you don't do it now, I won't let you play. Let us learn some examples by using the formula simple present plus modal verbs. Some examples. Example 1. If you behave yourself, you can come to the party. Example 2. If the weather improves, we shall go for a walk. If the weather improves, we can go for a walk. If the weather improves, we may go for a walk. Example 3. If you promise to be careful, you can drive my car. Example 4. If you come, you can see him. Example 5. If I arrive early, I might take a stroll around the park. Example 6. If I have time, I might make a cake. Let us learn some examples by using the formula simple present plus be going to. Example 1. If you don't study hard, you are going to fail. Example 2. If you don't leave now, I'm going to miss the flight. Example 3. If you don't come today, you're not going to see him again. Example 4. If she is not ill, she is going to come tomorrow. Let us learn some examples by using the formula simple present plus some imperatives. We use the imperatives to give instructions or advice. Example 1. If you need anything, just ask me. Example 2. If you see Arun, tell him he needs to come to my office. Example 3. If you go to Australia, send me a postcard. Example 4. If you travel abroad, remember your passport. Example 5. If you have a few hours to spare, you may visit the museum. Example 6. If you don't feel well, you should consult a doctor. Let us learn some examples with the structure present continuous plus simple future. Example 1. If we are leaving soon, I shall get my coat. Example 2. If you are exercising every day, you will lose your weight and get fit. Example 3. If it is snowing, we shall stay at home. Example 4. If the kids are enjoying themselves, we shall let them go on playing. Let us learn some examples by using the formula present perfect plus modal verbs. The present perfect in the if clause of a sentence in the first conditional emphasizes that one action depends upon the completion of other. The if by then of the first clause establishes the future context. So any present tense verb form will work to express a future condition. Let us learn some examples by using present perfect and the modal verb. Example 1. If I have seen the movie by then, I'll tell you about it. Example 2. If it hasn't rained by then, we have to irrigate the crops. Example 3. If I have finished writing my paper by tonight, I'll go out with my friends. Let us learn some examples by using the formula present perfect plus simple future. Example 1. If I have had my coffee, I'll think better. Example 2. If the road has been built by then, we will drive on it. Example 3. If he has finished his work, he will be able to come with you. Many words and expressions can be used with a similar meaning to if. Some common examples: unless, suppose, supposing, what if, providing, provided that, as long as, so long as, on condition that, only if, should you with inversion, whether or not, even if, in case, in the event of, or and otherwise. We are going to learn these all with their meanings and with some examples. Conditional clauses can begin with unless. Unless means something similar to if not or except if. The verb forms in the examples are similar to sentences with if. We use the present simple in the unless clause and shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, or might in the main clause. Let us learn some examples. Example 1. Unless I phone you, you cannot assume the train is on time. The meaning is, if I don't phone you, or except if I phone you, you can assume the train is on time. Example 2. We'll have to cancel the show unless we sell more tickets at the last minute. The meaning is, we'll have to cancel the show if we do not sell more tickets, except if we sell more tickets at the last minute. Example 3. Unless he is physically fit, he won't be recruited. Example 4. I won't go on a holiday unless I save some money. Let us learn the definition of suppose, supposing, what if with some examples. We normally use suppose or supposing at the beginning of a sentence to make someone imagine a situation. It means what would happen if, or simply if imagining a situation. Suppose or supposing and what if can replace if, mainly in everyday conversation and are often used without a main clause. Example 1. Supposing I got a job, I wouldn't be able to travel with you next summer. Example 2. Suppose she doesn't believe you. What would you do then? Example 3. Suppose Supposing you win the lottery, what will you do? Example 4. Supposing you cannot find a job, what will you do? Example 5. Supposing I don't arrive till after midnight, will the guest house still be open? Means imagine if I don't arrive till after midnight. Example 6. What if you are not accepted to university? What will you do then? Let us learn some examples and the definition of provided that, providing that. We can use the expression providing that instead of if when we want to emphasize the condition that needs to be present that something can happen or be done. Providing that is more common in speaking. Provided that is more formal and more common in written language. Let us learn some examples. Example 1. I'll lend you money provided that you pay me back next month. Example 2. You can get a senior citizens reduction providing you have got a railway card. Example 3. They may do whatever they like provided that it's within the law. Example 4. Providing that the bills are paid, tenants will not be evicted. Let us learn as long as, so long as with its definition and some examples. We can use the expressions as long as instead of if when we want to emphasize the condition that needs to be present so that something can happen or be done. Example 1. I'll tell you what really happened as long as you keep the secret. Example 2. You can stay here as long as you keep quiet. Example 3. You can play in the living room as long as you don't make a mess. Example 4. So long as a tiger stands still, it is invisible in the jungle. Example 5. You can borrow the car so long as you don't drive too fast. Let us learn on condition that, only if, their definition with some examples. We can use the expressions on condition that or only if instead of if when we want to emphasize the condition that needs to be present so that something can happen or be done. Only if makes the condition more restrictive. If the if clause is first, the subject and the auxiliary in the main clause are inverted. Example 1. They will speak to the press on condition that they remain anonymous sources. Example 2. She agreed on condition that she would not have to speak a line. Example 3. I'll come to the party on condition that you don't wear those ridiculous trousers. Example 4. The bank lent the company rupees 1 lakh on condition that they repaid the money within 6 months. Some examples of only if. Example 5. We will invest the money, but only if you can prove that it is a safe investment. Example 6. Lavanya will eat the fruit only if it is an apple. Only if you like classical music. It is worth coming tonight. Let us learn now should you with inversion, its definition and some examples. It is used in formal situations. We can use should plus, subject plus, verb plus instead of if. Some example. Example 1. Should you wish to cancel your order, please contact our customer service department. Means, or if you should wish to cancel your order. Example 2. Should your child become anxious or nervous about any activity, it is a good idea to inform the team leader. If your child should become. Example 3. Should you have any questions, I will be happy to help. Example 4. Marker pens are in the cupboard. Should you ever need one? Means marker pens are in the cupboard if you ever need one. Example 5. Should a customer wish to cancel their booking, they should notify us within 7 days. Example 5. Should a customer wish to cancel their booking, they should notify us within 7 days. Let us learn whether or not, its definition with some examples. We use whether or not when there are two alternatives and we want to say that something will happen or will be true in any of those two alternatives. Example 1. I'll help him whether or not he needs me. Means I will help him if he needs me, and I will help him if he doesn't need me to. Example 2. Whether or not it rains, I'm going to the park. Means if it rains, I'm going to the park. If it doesn't rain, I'm going to park too. Example 3. Let me know whether or not you're going. Means let me know whether you're going or not. Let us now learn even if with its definition and some examples. We also use even if with a similar meaning to whether or not. It is used to emphasize that something will still be true or will be. Even if emphasizes that something will happen, would happen, or would have happened, whatever the condition. Let us see some examples. Example 1. Even if you apologize, he will never forgive you. Means whether or not you apologize, he will never forgive you. Example 2. Even if we leave right now, we still won't catch the train. Example 3. I wouldn't go into the water even if I could swim. Let us learn now in case, its definition with some examples. In case of implies a preventative action, a warning. We use in case of to talk about things that we do to be prepared for something that might happen or might be needed in the future. Example 1. I'll take my umbrella in case it rains because it might rain. Example 2. In case there is a fire emergency, employees should use the stairs to exit the building. Example 3. In case of the snow, make sure that you have warm clothes. Means take warm clothes because you might get snow. Example 4. In case of accidents, all cyclists have to wear helmet. Since accidents are possible, all cyclists. Spotlight. Do not confuse in case of and in cases of or in the case of. While in case of should not be used to express a situation or condition that is already true, the plural form in cases of or the expression in the case of do exactly that. These two expressions are not common and are only used in specific contexts. For example, in cases of severe infection, patients need to be isolated when they are severely infected. Let us learn now in the event of with its definition and with some examples. In the event of expresses a situation where action and condition are both true. The action only occurs when the subordinated condition is true. Thus, a sentence using in the event of can often be rephrased using a simple conditional if clause. Example 1. In the event of fire, leave the building by the nearest exit. In the event of emergency, call the ambulance. Means call the ambulance if there is an emergency. Example 3. In the event of victory, the team will go through the next round. Means if the team wins, it will go through the next round. Let us learn now one more expression, or and otherwise. We often use or and otherwise with conditional meanings. Example 1. You have to start studying or you will fail all those exams. Means if you don't start studying, you will fail the exams. Example 2. We better send it by express mail, otherwise it will take many days. Means if we don't send it by express mail, it will take a lot of days. Conditional 1. If and adjectives. In the conditional 1, if also used with some adjectives. In formal style, subject plus, be plus is sometimes left out after if. Some examples. If in doubt, if possible, if necessary, etc. We can make the if clause shorter by omitting the subject and the verb be. Example 1. If in doubt, consult a dictionary. Means if you are in doubt, you can refer a dictionary or you can consult a dictionary. Example 2. If in doubt, ask for help. Means if you are in doubt, ask for help. It is also used in certain idiomatic expressions. The subject and be are normally omitted. Some examples. Example 1. If necessary, you can call Ramya at home. Example 2. I'd like a seat by the window if possible. Example 3. If interested, please let me know. Means if you are interested, please let me know. And finally, the type 1 conditional also used to express by using if so and if not. If so and if not can stand for an if clause which is understood from the context. Example 1. According to the weather forecast, it might rain tomorrow. If so, we will go hiking another day. Example 2. I hope Praveen gets here soon. If not, we will have to start without him.